Most dog owners have no idea these everyday things could be deadly. I'm not overblowing this. In this video, we're seriously exploring things that can make your dog seriously ill, and worst case scenario, sadly lead to death. From antifreeze to grapes, yes, really, these are things you might want to think twice about having in your home. Essential oils. They may seem essential to you, but to your dog, they're anything but. Whether it's lavender to help you sleep or eucalyptus to give your bathroom that spa-like scent, you've probably got an essential oil or two in your house. But they're not as harmless as we've all been led to believe. Back in 2019, a research paper was published in Veterinary Medicine which revealed that you are poorly sensitive to certain essential oils. That exposure via inhalation or even just skin contact can lead to central nervous system depression, ataxia, vomiting, and worst case scenario, liver damage. And that's without mentioning some of the big offenders. Oils that your dog is so sensitive to that even just diffusing them in the air can trigger big reactions. Clove, pine, citrus oils, cinnamon oil, and perhaps the worst of all, tea tree oil. Something a lot of pet parents innocently forget is how differently our dogs navigate their way through the world. They are led by their nose. A nose that is a whopping 14 times more powerful than yours. That's superpower territory. That means they are getting a far more concentrated dose than you ever will. Thankfully, there are early signs your dog may have a growing case of essential oil poisoning. Are they drooling excessively, walking funny, showing signs of fatigue when they're normally young and sprightly? It may be more than a mood swing. It could be poisoning. And it's not the only thing in the home that might be poisoning them. Air freshener. Most of you will be familiar with the ASPCA, but for anyone new to dog ownership, it's an acronym you're going to want to know even more than LOL and FOMO. They are the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, and they have a whole section on their site dedicated to warning pet parents about the dangers of aerosol sprays and plug-in fresheners. The science behind it is that many of them contain phthalates and formaldehyde. They are known irritants, and in high enough doses, they can affect your dog's liver and kidneys. And the issue is your dog doesn't have the option to step outside for fresh air willy-nilly. They live at the whim of when you let them outside. If the house is saturated with artificial fragrance, they've got no choice but to stew in it. Cleaning products. According to the Journal of the American Veterinary Medical Association, many common cleaners contain quaternary ammonium compounds. I'm sure you can see where this is going. These are extremely toxic to dogs. We all want clean floors, but if your dog is walking across that just mopped surface and licking their paws, you could be poisoning them without realizing it. Bleach, by which I mean the liquid, not the manga, is a big offender. Even diluted bleach can cause paw burns or oral ulcers if ingested. Why would your dog ingest it, you ask? Because as mad as this is, it has a salty taste like a bag of chips. That is appealing to your dog. If they get the opportunity to lick bleach, I regret to reveal they will take it, and that's bad. Because in the best case scenario, it can lead to vomiting and difficult breathing. The worst case, seizures. Use pet-safe cleaning products, or at the very least, rinse floors thoroughly and keep dogs out of the area until it's dry. That new shiny kitchen vibe isn't worth your dog's kidneys, nor are plants. Toxic houseplants. Your monstera looks amazing. Your snake plant is killing the Instagram game. But here's the problem. Many of the most popular indoor plants are seriously toxic to dogs. Take sago palms. One bite of that and your dog could suffer liver failure. The Pet Poison Helpline says, ingestion of even a small amount of sago palm can result in vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, and death. Other common toxic plants, philodendrons, aloe vera, pothos, lilies, and dieffenbachia. Some of them cause kidney failure. Others just cause mouth burns so severe that your dog refuses to eat or drink. If your dog is the curious kind, and let's face it, most are, then even a little nibble can be dangerous. So put those plants up high or replace them with pet-safe alternatives. Your dog does not deserve to go down in battle against a houseplant or against a grape. Grapes and raisins. Nothing is more frightening than a mystery, and when it comes to dog diets, there's a mystery that's been bamboozling researchers for decades. There's a food that is incredibly toxic to your dog, and nobody can figure out what. Grapes. And by extension, raisins, because a raisin is just a grape's skin. Kinda creepy when you put it like that. Even though scientists can't get to the bottom of why grapes and their byproducts are such an issue for dogs, the concern should be taken seriously because, as the Merck Veterinary Manual put it, ingestion of grapes or raisins can result in acute renal failure in dogs. Deepening the mystery, the amount of grapes it takes to harm your dog is unpredictable. Some dogs eat 2 grapes and go into kidney shutdown. Others seem fine until they aren't. You cannot know if your dog is sensitive until it's already too late. So it is never worth the risk as far as I'm concerned. What you need to be careful of is what I like to call sneaky raisins, because sometimes they turn up in unexpected places. Trail mix, granola bars, muffins, all are prone to having sneaky raisins wiggle into their recipes from time to time. Still, the good news is, if you have to keep grapes and grape products away from your dog, it means you have an excuse to keep your wine to yourself. Now, a food we all know is both safe and beloved by dogs is peanut butter. But it might not always be as safe as many people think. Xylitol. The Journal of Veterinary Emergency and Critical Care calls the next thing I want to talk about one of the most rapidly acting and dangerous toxins in dogs. But the twist is, it's something most people have never heard of, despite how tasty it is. Xylitol. A lot of people don't know what xylitol is. It's not a common word like hello or cheese or, depending on your lifestyle, stomach pump. But all pet parents to precious pooches should familiarize themselves with it. Because to a dog, xylitol is a death trap. It's often found in some peanut butters, mints, toothpaste, the occasional baked good, and most infamously, in sugar-free gum. The reason xylitol is an issue isn't just because words begin with X sound like something from a scary sci-fi movie. Xylitol ingestion can cause a colossal release of insulin in dogs. This means their blood sugar plummets fast, and within 10 to 60 minutes, they may collapse. A moment ago, when I called xylitol tasty, I wasn't joking. Dogs love the taste of it, to the extent that if they get their chompers into a pack of gum, they will gobble it all up like there's no tomorrow. If you're worried you may have some lying around the house, but are unsure, it's always worth checking labels. Especially on anything sweet but low in calories, like sugar-free gum, because the xylitol is what gives it its flavor. And that is why I said you can't trust all peanut butter, because some of the fancy, health-conscious brands will use xylitol instead of sugar. So check those labels, alright? Is your dog a vampire? Is your dog a vampire? I can't know for sure, but most probably not. But they have something in common with Jonathan Harker's legendary enemies, because they don't respond well to garlic. Your pasta sauce might be a masterpiece, your stir-fry divine, but no matter how much your dog sits at your legs and pleads, don't share that delicious sauce with them, because even small amounts of garlic can sadly spell disaster for your dog. While garlic's power to harm vampires is due to magic, its ability to make your dog sick is all down to its containing compounds that damage red blood cells. This can lead to anemia. The Veterinary Clinics of North America Journal reports that garlic toxicosis is dose-dependent and cumulative. Even small amounts given repeatedly can cause significant harm. Cooked, raw, powdered, doesn't matter. It all breaks down into the same toxic compounds. So don't share table scraps, and be especially careful with baby food, broth, and seasoned meats. And onions, they can do more than make your dog cry. Because everything I've said about garlic, 100% of it also applies to onions, and you need to be extra careful on that front. As a lot more things, especially seasoned meats, have onion powder in them than you realize. Antifreeze. A common thing to have in any house, and the opposite of Uncle Burn, antifreeze comes with a trilogy of problems. Numero uno, it contains ethylene glycol, so it shouldn't be eaten. Number dos, it smells inviting, so your dog will try to eat it anyway. Numero tres, it's annoyingly tasty, so once they've had a taste, they'll be desperate for more. According to clinical techniques in small animal practice, Ingestion of even tiny amounts of antifreeze can result in rapid kidney failure and, worst case scenario, sadly even death, with it taking only a teaspoon per pound of body weight to be lethal. This is why early treatment is essential. And if you know your dog has licked up some antifreeze, do not wait for signs they're unwell, as it can take 12 hours or more for symptoms to show, and by then it may already be too late. If you suspect your dog has licked antifreeze, drop everything and get to a vet. Another thing that's a bigger issue for your dog than you might think isn't what they eat, but how they eat. I explain all in our next video. Plastic bowls is equal to dog chin acne.